To promote my new flower shop, I had one place print my business cards, another print my brochures, and a third, my signs. Now my roses aren't red, my violets aren't blue, my geraniums look dead, and I don't know what to do.
Staples can help your business stand out with signs, banners, and brochures that are a true reflection of your company. And now at Staples, spend $50 or more on print and marketing services and get $5 off your next in-store purchase.
Now my business is blossoming, and I'm spending less green.
Exclusions apply. In-store only. Ends 6/23/18.
Blog Talk Radio.
Caution, the tea is hot. Blow it off first, okay? Dishing tea with Big Meech.
Hello, hello, hello. It's another glorious day, my tea sippers, and you know what time it is. I hope you have all of your comfort together because it's time to dish the tea. And you're dishing darlings, with Big Meech.
Can't wait. Time to dish tea with Big Meech. Time to dish tea with Big Meech. Time to dish tea with Big Meech. Time to dish tea with Big Meech.
Darling.
It's only me. I've come to see you. And I know what you've been through. I will be your friend. Lean on me for now. Got to pull you back up somehow. And I have no more of this moping around. I'm tired of you pulling yourself down. For in spite of all you've been through, I still believe there's a winner.
And hello, 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 out there in Blog Talk Radio land here. For those of you who are in the sound of my voice in the glorious United States of America and across the globe. Hello to all of my children over there in Germany, Italy, and France, and Beijing, and the Ukraine, and the Caribbean island, and to all of you within the sound of my voice. Darling, it's another glorious Wednesday, my tea sippers, and you know what time it is. So, honey, it's time. I know you have all of your comments together because, darling, it's time to dish tea, and you're dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meech. What's going on, babies? Yes, it's been 14 days since we've been together last. I do apologize to you for not coming to you last week. However, some things had got tied up, and as you all know, we are enthralled in the making of No Time for the Pain. So, darling, I want to let you guys know that we have a wonderful cast for you. And, honey, this is going to be absolutely everything, honey, starring the one and only Atlanta's own Eric Dillard as Veronica Jean Dupree. We also have the one and only, he goes by Kevin Moss now, but he's formerly known as Flex Dion, adult entertainer, honey, who's going to be in our production in the role of Reynard. And also for all of my Atlanteans, honey, if you're familiar, I'm sure you are, with the Stars of the Century show, honey. Mr. Damani Hall Dickerson is also featured in our production. We have a fabulous production for you coming up, honey, October 23rd, 24th, and 30th. 2015, my darlings, here at the South Fulton Arts Center, located at 4645 Butner Road, at Stonewall Trail Road, here in the historic College Park. And my darlings, this here is going to be everything. I'm telling you, these kids are really going to entertain you. We are hoping that all of you come on out. If you can't come out, sponsor a ticket for someone to come out and enjoy theater at its best here in the ATL. For more information, you can always go to our website, and that's at dishingtea.com. That is dishingtea.com for more information on how you can obtain your tickets. We do have a link there. When you go to the website, go to the No Time for the Pain link, or tab, rather. It will take you over to everything, and you can either order tickets there. We have an Eventbrite link there where you can order tickets online. Or you can charge by phone. The phone number is there, 248-688-5178. So we have all of those things available to you. We're still looking for vendors. If you are a business owner and would like to come in and vendor here, we do have vendor slots available where you can introduce us to your product and or your wares. Again, go to the website for all of that information. That's dishingtea.com. Yes, my darlings. Family ties are shattered and destroyed when fraternal twins Danielle and Eric confront one another on the issues of betrayal, infidelity, and HIV. Yes, my darlings, my darlings, my darlings. I'm having a wonderful time with this. And we want to say especially a wonderful thank you to Meek Productions and May Entertainment. Miko Evans, my baby, honey, thank you for coming on board and helping us with this task. He is our casting agent, and yes, he's doing a fantastic job. We over here at 5 Mo Dishing Tea Entertainment, honey, we salute you. We thank you for all of your hard work and your efforts. Honey, Billy Dixon is our director, coming on through to give us his brand of creativity on this particular project. So, darlings, we are hoping that you come on out. We do have tickets at $25 for general admission, $35 for VIP. That is to our tea party. Yes, we do have a tea party reception that's going to be before the show, so you guys get to sit down and mingle and carry it on and understand what Dishing Tea, 5 Mo Dishing Tea Entertainment is all about. And, yes, this is going to be everything, everything, everything. So, yes, for those of you who would like to place your ads in our playbill, we do have slots available. Again, all of that information is at the website, dishingtea.com, okay? Now, let me put my disclaimer here that Dishing Tea with Big Meech is for mature audiences, And the language and the subject matters that you hear on this program are not intended for children or anyone who is not mature and or responsible enough to handle the situation at hand. So your listening discretion is advised. I will repeat. Dishing Tea with Big Meat is for mature audiences, and the language and or subject matters that you hear on this program are not intended for children or anyone who is not mature and or responsible enough to handle the situations at hand. So your listening discretion is advised. Now, my darlings, if you are at work, now is the time for you to turn the volume down to a respectful level and or put your headphones in. If you have children in the room, now is the time to put them in the other room with the other flat screen so they can watch Dora or SpongeBob or Bert and Ernie or Kate and Allie, honey, Barney the dinosaur, or something. Put them over there, honey, because now it's time for the grown and sexy to become the seasoned and sophisticated. Yes, indeed, baby, because listen to me carefully, honey. Please listen. I am not going to entertain any of you bitches coming to me at anywhere you see me. I don't care what function, what store, what grocery store, what flea market, okay, what garage sale, honey. I don't care where I am. I am not going to entertain anyone coming to me telling me that you have gotten some kind of demerits or reprimands on your job because you did not govern yourself accordingly, honey. So please, govern yourself accordingly, honey, and be responsible, okay? Okay. Now, please consider yourselves warned. Honey, for those of you who don't know, I have a potty mouth, and I make no excuses for it, honey. I have earned the right to I don't care how many syllable and or letter word that comes out of my mouth. Honey, I don't know what bag I'm coming out of. Just trust truly, I'm coming out of something, honey. You understand? So, and having said all that, this is a Don't Come Out of a Bag Wednesday, honey, where you get to be my co-host. Yes. We have a good time with these, where you get to come on in, honey, and we can talk about whatever you want to talk about. I don't care what it is, but you know the rules, don't you? And if you don't, I will reiterate. We can talk about any and everything right here and right now. But if you decide to come out of a bag on me, sweetheart, I'm going to come out of a bigger bag on you. Okay? Long as you understand that. As long as you understand that, sugar plums, honey, because we want to make sure, I really believe that everyone who is on this side of creation, honey, everyone's voice deserves to be heard. Okay? Everyone has a right to have their voice heard. Now, whether we agree with one another, that's a whole different subject. Now, we don't have to agree, but we can always, agree to disagree peacefully. But, child, if you come out of a bag and carry on and want to go into left field and really think somebody's supposed to sit down and entertain all that jazz without it making any kind of sense, without it making any kind of nowhere, honey, no. You go ziggity boom, honey, and no, we're not going, no. No. It's got to be coherent. It got to make some kind of sense, okay? That's what it is. You have to be able to be coherent and make some kind of sense, child. Even if I don't agree with it, if it makes some kind of sense somewhere and you can articulate the thought, then we're good to go. But if you can't and want to sit down there and just go rumble jumble, jambalaya on me, no, ma'am, we're not going to do it, okay? Okay? So let me say that here. Having said that, the tea room is open. So for those of you who are listening by computer and would like to come on board, the tea room is open. And again, come over here to dish your tea responsibly, please. Y'all know we're in this whole new world, honey, where everything is done by texting and Instagramming, instant messaging, and all that kind of stuff. If it ain't a picture, it's 140 characters of a statement or whatever. So oftentimes, because we don't hear folks talking or whatever, we think they may be trying to neck roll us or whatever, and that may not necessarily be the case. So when you're over here dishing your tea, dish your tea responsibly, please. Because if I come in and find you cutting up, I'm going to cut you out, okay? It's okay to disagree, but don't be disagreeable, okay, my darlings? Right. All right. Now, having said all that, I am going to continue on here. Let me just take a commercial break now, and then when we come back, I'll let you know what's on my mind today, and then we'll get all off into it. We probably got a couple of Dear Big Meats letters as well, and then we're going to make this have a fun-filled day, okay? Okay, so now let me do all that, and when we come back, honey, we're going to get right into it again. If you want to join in on the conversation and want to come in and be heard, please feel free to call in at 347-205-9183. That's 347-205-9183.
Maggie Lee's Community Center offers a unique array of programs designed to improve the lifestyle and well-being of the community. Located at 7700 Puritan Avenue in Detroit, Maggie Lee's Community Center specializes in child care and latchkey services, as well as senior citizen activities and block club functions. For more information about Maggie Lee's Community Center, call 313-737-9042. Maggie Lee's Community Center, giving the people a chance to show how much they have to contribute. If you are looking the Caribbean American Boys Entertainment, we specialize in jerk and conch food catering, party promotions and emceeing, entertainment with the Caribbean swagger, island fever on the mainland, bam bam. We also provide customized tour guides through gay-friendly Bahamas to all the hot spots of dining and club life events. Mr. Silvano T. DeMarco is the founder and CEO of the CABC. For more information, please contact him at CaribbeanBoysATL@yahoo.com. That's Caribbean Boys with a Z, ATL, at yahoo.com, or on Facebook at Facebook.com/Silvano T. DeMarco. That's Facebook.com/Silvano T. DMARCO. Caribbean American Boys Entertainment. Island Fever on the mainland. Bam bam. Double Exposure Media Relations is a full-service public relations, marketing, and artist development firm specializing in urban culture and lifestyle. Spearheaded by the Henry Hingers of hip-hop, Mr. Angelo Ellaby, Double Exposure serves to educate its clients about the dollars and cents of the music industry. For more information about Double Exposure Media Relations, call 201-224-6510. 201-224-6510. Double Exposure Media Relations. An educator, an entrepreneur, a poet, an artist. Sharon Williams Dean is Art by Sode, creating beautifully exquisite artwork for your home, business, gifts, or any special occasion. For more information, contact Art by Sode at 313-740-4904 or visit the gallery at www.artbysode.com. That's www.artbysode.com.
Divided by two.
And hello. We are back. And if you're just tuning in and want to come in on this conversation, please feel free to join in at 347-205-9183. That's 347-205-9183. Press the number 1. Just hit it one time. You'll hear the little prompt say you are now in the host queue. That means that you have lit up on my box, so that means when I bring you in at the right time, when I'm ready for you to sit up there and speak your mind, okay? Now, for those of you who are ready for all this, honey, today is a Don't Come Out of the Bag Wednesday, which means, my darling, we could talk about any and everything that is on your mind. I don't care what it is, okay? I don't care what it is, but if you decide to come out of a bag, honey, on me, please know that I'm going to come out of a bigger bag on you, okay? Now, before we get started, let me say this right now because I don't want this to get lost at the tail end of all of this because some of you may, if you're listening at work and carrying on, you may end up leaving. Next Wednesday is very important because if you guys are following Iyanla Vanzant Fix My Life, the new season just started last Saturday, where one of the pastors, Pastor Derek, the cute one with the glasses and the bald head, he will be joining us next week. Yes, that's right. He's coming here next week, and we're going to be talking about his experience with what that is, how did he get involved with that, and all of that. So that's going to be an exclusive right here on Dishing Tea with Big Meat. So tell all of your friends, get all of your children together, honey, get your crumpets, your popcorn, all kinds of forms of libation, which I did not have mine. Yes, I do. Okay. And then we're going to go from there. So, again, next week, Pastor Derek Terry is going to be here dishing tea with Big Meech about his experience with being on the program, Iyanla Fix My Life, as the Season 5 opener, okay? So, yes, I am ecstatic, my darlings. I'm ecstatic. So now, let's get in today's program because I have a few things that are on my mind, and I'm sure this is not all of them. I got a few Big Meech letters as well, so I'm going to let you know what's on my mind first, and then I'm going to go into the Big Meech letters unless you guys want to talk with me, okay? Now, here's a couple of things that are on my mind this week. First off, you guys know we just had the Emmy Awards, and how fabulous. My girls, honey, Viola got it, Regina got it, Regina King, Viola Davis, and Uzo. I can't call her last name. I'm gonna fuck it up. From Orange Is the New Black. Those three black women got those Emmys at this year's Emmy Awards, and we come to find out that Viola Davis is the first African-American woman to win an Emmy for a lead role, the lead actor in a television drama or series, okay? And here we are in 2015. She's the first one to get this particular honor in this particular category. So the question becomes, what are your feelings about their victories with this? Do you feel it's about time, it's overdue, or whatever? And then look at the roles that they won for. These are some very, very strong women. They weren't necessarily stereotypical roles and carrying on. These are some very, very strong women. Uzo, this is her second Emmy. She won last year. I think last year she won for comedy. And this year, I think it was for supporting actress in a TV series. Regina got it for supporting actress in a limited series. Mm-hmm. Because we had a lot of shows that came in that only lasted, they were fillers for that summer filler, about 6-7 weeks long or whatever. And I see that's going to be a new category now because we got all these webisodes that carried on that are really real limited pieces. So what are your thoughts on that? Okay. Another thing that's on my mind, honey, Pope Francis. Well, child, everything today is about the Pope. He done landed down here, touched down here in America and things, and, he's doing his thing. But what are your thoughts about this Pope? Pope Francis, because this man has just come up in here and has shaken up everything. You know what I'm saying? What he's saying to folks, what he's doing, how he's treating folks and carrying on. A lot of the folks, in fact, is it Newsweek or one of those national magazines, USA Today something. They got him on the cover, and they're asking the question: is he really Catholic? Because over the years, the popes that we've heard and seen in our lifetime, whatever, have never done anything like this. And he is the first Latino pope. How about that? So, with that, there's a number of different things that's going on with this particular pope, and he is just, I feel he's on fire, and I'm not Catholic, but the things and stuff that he's standing for, my child, it is absolutely revolutionary, and I really believe that he is upsetting the church. So what are your thoughts on that? Or do you care? Do you really care? You know what I'm saying? Is it one of those things, child, Pope Schmope, honey? Okay, if it ain't Olivia Pope, I don't give a damn. Is it one of those things for you? So that's what's on my mind here. Also, we're going to talk about the school system for a minute because y'all know if it's not this Friday, it's next Friday, where we had that fourth Friday count. And y'all know that they're supposedly important for the school systems because that's when they count all the children who are in attendance and carrying on, and they get umpteen hundreds of dollars per child, at every school. But my question is this, because I've always found this to be absolutely extraordinary. After the fourth Friday count, and they're counting all these damn kids, that next Monday, those children sit down and they go through their changes. They start kicking folks out. They don't give a damn if the kids come back to school and stuff anymore because they got counted already for that money. What are your thoughts on that, honey? I want to know what's going on with that because, hell, counted this child for the money, so what do you do with the extra money now that child is no longer in school? You know what I'm saying? The kids ain't getting the supplies like they're supposed to and this, that, and the other. Where the hell does that money go? And why is it that we are not doing the best that we can to make sure that those kids stay in school? I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that. So that there is something that mind boggles me. Okay? So what are your thoughts on that? And then the other thing that's on my mind is this. Here in Atlanta, about a couple of weeks ago, we just had an assassination attempt on two people, their husband and wife, and these were their sons. This couple down here, they have their two boys, 17 and 22, had attempted to kill them. They were trying to blow the house up. They turned the gas off and had lit a candle, according to what the police said on the news. But somehow the candle ended up going out, and the house did not blow up. So they ended up going back in the house. They beat the mom up very badly. They injured the dad and carrying on, and this, that, and the other, blase yakety. And, now, they got arrested and carried on and this, that, and the other. But here's the ticket. The reports are saying now that the mother went down, and what she's asking for the public to do is to forgive her boys, and she's asking the courts, honey, not to persecute them or prosecute them or whatever, because I don't believe that she's going to testify against her children. She's saying, honey, that those are not her boys. She's basically giving me the demonic possession kind of thing. They were somebody else. We don't understand this, but these are not my boys that did this because I raised better boys. And no, we forgive them and carrying on. Do not put my children in jail. Blah 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 blah. So the question becomes, honey, the art of forgiveness. Is it really real, or do you think at times folks are just trying to buy their way into heaven? Huh? Is that something we just say, oh, I forgive you? And what exactly is forgiveness? Do we absolutely forgive these children, or are we saying, you know what, I'm going to let this slide, but I'm not going to fuck with you no more kind of thing? What is forgiveness? And how do we move past it? And then again, like I said, are we actually doing it for real? Or are we doing it because we're buying our way to get into heaven? Do we think this is what Jesus would do, WWJD? And so you think that this is a Christian thing to do. And it really, you really ignoring all of your feelings, all of you, because you haven't processed this down yet. What is that for you? Huh? Yeah. Yeah. So those are the things that are on my mind. So if you want to join in, like I said, 347-205-9183, press the number 1, and we'll go from there. Now, I got some Dear Big Meats letters that I'm going to give you, honey. Well, I got 3 of them. Oh, all right, cutesy. Cute. And if you want to weigh in on these, I'm going to let you come on in, okay? Now, here's the first one. Dear Big Meat, what do I do when I'm tired of being alone? I'm sick of the dating game, but I don't like going online to find somebody either. I'm sick of the whole thing. Help. Really? You sick of the whole thing? You just sick of it, huh? Well, darling, okay. Let me ponder this. First off, baby love, you start this off by saying you are tired of being alone. Okay, I understand that. Most of the time, folks want to. We all want to have a companion of some sort, okay? We all want to make sure that there's someone there we can spend time with and this, that, and the other. I'm going to ask you to re-examine the term alone, because oftentimes alone, what you may be considering alone may mean that you just want either a hookup, a romantic companion, so you can feel loved and adorned, or sometimes you just want someone because you have lost sense of yourself and don't know how to get reconnected to you. Okay, alone often, and most of the time, when folks say they're tired of being alone, you hear this all the time. Girls say, "Oh, I just need me a man. I just need me a man." No, that's not what you need. What you're saying is that often the question, "I just need some sex." Okay, because oftentimes you get the damn man, but then you treat him like shit, or y'all don't do nothing. There's nothing there, and the only thing you have in common is sex. So, first off, let's be honest with what being alone is. Okay, let's start there. Then you say, I'm sick of the dating game, but I don't like going online to find somebody either. So, darling, if you're sick of the dating game, stop trying to go out dating. You said you're tired of being alone. So maybe you need to pick up your hobbies and get around folks where you can, get out and just communicate with people. Oh, excuse me. Oftentimes we forget about that aspect of it. You may just want to be out. Honey, what is it that you like to do? Okay, do you like playing cards? You like going to the museums? You like going to the library? You like going bowling or something? There's a number of activities, honey. Find out if you got an activity center in your neighborhood or something. I know in Detroit they got the Metro Times. Here in Atlanta we got the Creative Loafing. Whatever the little free little magazine publications and stuff, you can find a lot of stuff to do that don't cost you nothing. Hell, get up and go to the park, child. Go on out to the park. Take yourself a bag lunch, and go to the park and people watch. Do a crossword puzzle by the water or something. So that way you can be around, you can see the children playing and carrying on, and you can feel alive and vibrant again with life. That way you're not alone, okay? Now, if you say you don't want to be dating and carrying on, okay, that's fine if you're sick of the game. But, honey, at the same time, I go back to reevaluating your definition of being alone. Now, if it means that you want a partner or a romantic interest there, or someone just to spend adult time with here and there, because I'm going to tell you something. There's a difference between, we got friends with benefits and carrying on, and then there's dating. And a lot of times, folks want to sit down there and think that dating, your friends with benefit, is a date. And oftentimes it's not. And the difference is that your friends with benefits, honey, you're not exclusive. Dating becomes when you start to be exclusive with one another, or to somewhat loyal, and you're sharing more than just dinner, theater, and sex. If all you're doing is coming together so that y'all can spend some adult time, that's not dating, honey. Y'all just enjoying one another's company. Okay? And oftentimes, that's that Sandra Clark syndrome, honey. I got this one coming up on this day, this one coming up on that day, this one coming here, this one coming there. Honey, yeah. Okay, you're going out to enjoy some time. Okay, but if you're dating, trying to get to know someone, you're trying to care about someone, you're really concerned about what they are in life. You become a part of their life. You want to go and make sure that everything is okay and this those kinds of things that we do when we start to date someone. Otherwise they just become a friend with benefits. If they come over to your house and all y'all do is watch a movie, you may go out to a movie, you may go out, out on the town or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then the end result is he's coming back home to fuck. Honey, that's all he is a friend with benefits. And y'all just trying to work on the friendship of it. That's not a date or that's not dating. You understand what I'm saying? So evaluate what that is, what it is that you want about dating, and then call it great. So if you're not into the online thing, which it could be a little scary, then that means you got to get yourself out. I'm going to tell you say help. Step one, reevaluate your hobbies. What is it that you like to do? Get into the world again by doing what it is you like to do. You got to come out of the house. And I'm saying that out loud for me because I find myself not necessarily becoming a hermit, but oftentimes I don't get out like I should because, I work a lot. So most of the time I'm tired and I just don't feel it, And then, too, right now because I'm not driving, all the time I don't feel like being bothered with the shit with the folks on the train and the buses and stuff. But, again, if you say you're tired of being alone, that may be your answer. Maybe you need some outside activity. Maybe you need to get on the train and on the bus or whatever to absorb life. You see what I'm saying? So that you can sit down there and then got a story, honey. Also, step two, get a journal, honey. Whenever you got these feelings or whatever, start writing. Write your thoughts down and get into your journal. So that way you can start to personalize this thing and then become grateful for what you have and what you didn't have. Even if you don't have nobody there to talk with, you're able to do to put all that down in the journal so you can release the energy. You see what I'm saying? And number three, get into understanding people around you, honey. I told you the publications before. Find the free stuff to do. You ain't always got to spend money. Find the free stuff to do. And then get yourself out there so that way you can be involved in stuff. And I'm sure there's a lot of activities and stuff around that you're just unaware of that you can get involved with so that it can give you something to do and you're not alone. And then as you start to open yourself up, then you'll start to understand who you are and then start to that process all over again. And then you'll be surprised at what you attract. Okay? So that there is my thoughts on that. Ha, ha, ha. So says Meech, honey. Have a crumpet, okay? Do you agree, disagree, or got something to add? 347-205-9183. That's 347-205-9183. I got another one right here. Dear Big Meech, yes, baby. How do I manage my personal life and my career without hurting anyone's feelings? What? I want to be the best at everything I do, but I don't like being the bad guy. How do I get a grip on this? First off, honey, wait a minute. How do you manage your personal life and your career without hurting anyone's feelings? Baby, wait a minute, honey. First off, you got to sit down here and remember you said your personal and your career. So who in there is getting hurt? It sounds like you are because you're trying to be a people pleaser. You're trying to sit down here and do this and do that and do this and do that. And, honey, I tell this to folks all the time. Even Superman had to go to the Fortress of Solitude. Wonder Woman had to go back to to Paradise Island, honey. Batman always went back to the Batcave, honey. Okay? So listen, sweetheart. First off, you got to get a grip on your life and understand your priorities. Okay? And possibly you might be having folks in your life that are more takers than givers. Okay, if every time you turn around they get mad because you got to go to work or upset because you are maybe you may not have enough time for them. You know what I'm saying? And they should have known this when they met you. perhaps that might not be the person who needs to be in your life at this particular time. You see what I'm saying? That may be someone, honey, who's a fly-by-nighter. He or she may end up being a gold digger or something. You need to reevaluate that relationship and find out what it is what it means to you, so that you can know how to move forward, honey. You say, what is this? You say, what? I want to be the very best at everything I do, but I don't like being the bad guy. What do you mean being the bad guy? By saying the word no? Now, trust me, take this one from me, honey. I do understand that at times it does get a little rough trying to say that word, because you done made commitments. You done told these folks you're going to do this. You done told these folks you want to do that. And you kind of made promises you don't want to go back on your word. But, honey, every now and again, you have to say no in order for you to keep your sanity, sugar. Now, that's a lesson I'm still learning, okay? I'm better at it. I ain't mastered it yet, honey. I done went from a D- up to about a C+. Okay, working my way to that B- area. Oh, excuse me. However, coming into this, darling, you have to sit down there and understand that no is not always bad. That's not a bad thing all the time. It becomes a bad thing when folks who hear it, don't want to let it be what it is. I mean, it can be disappointing from time to time if folks are counting on you, but then you have to stop making yourself available like that. If everybody running to you, I say this in my book, I am not your God. If you are allowing everybody to run to you for all the answers, or you the Mr. Fix-It or Miss Fix-It thing, honey, if they're running to you for everything, then, my darling, then you have created a monster. And that means, like with Frankenstein, you got to go to the source and kill that bitch, because otherwise, honey, it is going to do nothing but destroy you. So that there is first and foremost. Reevaluate all of that relationship between your job and everything else. And let me ask you this about your job. Because if you're doing this on your job as well, honey, is it getting you any points? Are you getting the raises that you think doing all this is going to do? Or is it just, chalking up brownie points, honey, that's going nowhere? You see what I'm saying? I understand having a fantastic work ethic. At the same time, honey, you working for somebody else. Don't let that job kill you. If you can't do the overtime, honey, you can't do it. Shit. When do you have time for yourself? And maybe that is the yin and the yang that you have, because, sugar, perhaps you're doing so much on the job to where you don't have a personal life. Okay? And your personal life suffered because you're so busy worried about the job to where there's nothing there. So you've got to reevaluate your priorities with this one, honey. That's how you're going to get a grip. Reevaluate your priorities and then look at the people who are in your life, okay? If you look at the people who are in your life, if they're giving more than they are, if they're taking more than they are giving, and there's not a balance between the two of you, honey, then apparently you got the wrong people around you. And they're not there because of what the relationship is supposed to be for. They're only there for what you can do for them. So reevaluate that. I got a couple of hands. I'm going right here, 678-964. 678-964. Wait a minute. Come on. There we go. Come on up in here, baby.
Hello.
Hello. Yep, I got you.
Hello, darling.
Aha! Hey, baby.
How you doing?
I am, and I am going to be.
Okay. and so it is.
And so it is. Okay, what's going on, baby?
Darling, hello to the radio world. Of course, this is Big Meech's biggest big friend and fan. This is Miko. Wanted to support you in this particular letter because it resonates with me. And one of the things that a lot of people ask me, how come I've been single for so long? And I said, well, one of the reasons why I think because I think each person is different. And with me being a full-time entrepreneur, being an entrepreneur, when you step out there on faith, especially when you don't have what they call the traditional job, exactly. You don't want to be around someone that don't understand your purpose and your mission here on the planet, you also don't want to lock yourself so much in work to where you forget to have a life, as you just mentioned, and I'm glad you did that. Because sometimes we can be to a point where we want to pursue our career, pursue our passion, because we want to make sure that we have the things that I guess what society says that you're supposed to have so that you can be dateable. Because one of the things that that concerned me, even when I was pursuing my passion and going full time in entrepreneurship, is that I knew that when you're an entrepreneur, then you don't get a check every week or every 2 weeks. You get a check whenever you get a contract. You know what I'm saying? Or whenever you get a customer or a client. And so my money may come just like that, or my money may come sporadically, or you know what I'm saying? It depends.
Exactly.
So you don't want to be around somebody that don't understand it, and they always making you feel like they're taking care of you when that's not really the case.
Exactly.
And I know there's some other full-time entrepreneurs that can get what I'm saying. But also, I love the fact that you said about notice the people that are around you. Want to give a shout out to author John Collins, who I just recently participated in his monthly discussion series for, Black gay men, the Virgin Book Club. I think you probably heard about it or seen me post about it. And so this particular discussion he just had recently Monday talked about relationships and dating. And in this particular session that I walked in on, because I think people might have heard me mention this before, but and I think you and I talked about this, about the importance of being equally yoked.
Yes.
Okay, and we talked, and people touched on that particular discussion, and I love the fact that you just reconfirmed it when you answered the question of the guy about notice the people that are around you. Many times we're not really looking at the people that are around us because we don't realize that if we're not equally yoked, then we could be around potential energy thieves and spiritual vampires.
Ha ha ha! Say that. I love that.
You see what I'm saying? And you could be like
and spiritual vampires. Come on.
That's right. And we could be around folks that have the, as they say, beware of those that come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they're raging wolves. You shall know them by their fruits. And so you could be around people that if they don't understand that what your passion is, whether you are on a full-time career, whether that be a regular 9-to-5 job, or whether you may be a full-time artist or a full-time entrepreneur, you have to be around people that support you and that compliment you and that enhance you, and vice versa. If it's not if you're not getting something that's reciprocity on either end, then that's not the best. These are not the correct people around you, and it's really hard when you have to deal with family that's like that.
When you know what, it's hard because when you have family, family is family, and they sit up there, and we've grown up knowing that we're supposed to always be around and love family, but see, family are the ones that take advantage because they figure, oh, well, you my brother, you supposed to, you my sister, you supposed to, you my aunt, you supposed to, and I always go back to this episode of Sanford and Son when Fred won the lottery and won that $600. And every time I think about that episode, because it seems as soon as he got that little money, everybody came out the damn woodwork and wanted him to sit down there and to give his money away. That was his money. Why is it that we always expect those who have that they supposed to give to the have-nots? Okay? Why do we expect that? And even in relationships, see, we get around folks who sit down there. Number one, a lot of it is out of jealousy. Folks end up becoming takers because they're jealous of the fact that you got, and they don't. And they figure if they butter you up, if they talk the right stuff at the right time, someone who is very benevolent and giving, such as me, and I know you are, we end up going above and beyond, the whole situation just to make sure that they have a better life, because I'm blessed. So, I'm like, okay, well, I'll be a blessing to you so that you can go ahead on and get what you're going to get. But then it ends up Now, like I say in my book, now they done started treating you like God because they run into you for everything. You done gave them this. Now they need a pack of cigarettes. Now they need a lighter to light the damn cigarette. Now they need an ashtray to flick the fucking ashes in the damn ashtray. What is this?
You know what?
Wait, honey, wait.
You know what?
Wait, and in the beginning we think it's cute. We think, oh, that's so cute and this, that, and that. Then we get caught up. And then we get caught up in emotion because we just up there, most of the time, we the ones who get caught up in their potential because we see them for what they can be. You see what I'm saying?
But, and you know,
go ahead.
Yeah, and I'm actually flowing with you. I'm not cutting you off. I'm flowing with you because, and I'm glad you even talked about that part because what Soul Within, what the Omniverse revealed to me was that there's also another side to that because the other side is you have those now people like you and I, we're genuine. You know what I'm saying? You know, we're genuine givers. We always try to see the best in everybody. Right? Hello? You there?
Yeah, go ahead, what?
Okay, then. I was just making sure you could hear me. We always try to see the best in everybody when we give, and
exactly.
And however, there's another piece to that because we know that there are the takers out there. However,
yes.
I think the reason why to answer your question, why does it where every time somebody gets money they got to always give? That comes from programming and conditioning because of what is written in Scripture where it says to whom much is given, more is required, and.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, what people fail to realize, there's a piece to that to where it depends on. Actually, it really depends on the situation. When they say to whom much is given, more is required, there's other pieces that go on to that. Because, for example, when you give, you're really not supposed to give to the point where people be codependent on you. You're supposed to give to the point where people can be empowered.
Exactly.
In other words, you know what I'm saying? Because see, a lot of people. Even like it says, do not give to be seen of men. You got a lot of people that do that so that they can feel themselves important. You know what I'm saying?
How about that?
Thank you. And then when people come to them and folks always grabbing, like you just said, you created a monster. But the thing is, what was your original intent for giving, and how did you give? You know what I'm saying? What was your original intent for giving, and how did you give? Because we wasn't really taught on effectively how to give. We was just taught to give, but we wasn't taught how to give.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? We have been miseducated.
Exactly.
Go ahead. I want you to finish your point.
Exactly. So you're about to make me go into chorus.
Okay. And said, baby, honey, when that revelation came to me, honey, I was about to go into chorus 2, child. I was laid out on the floor. Because when the Omniverse revealed that to me, I said, wait a minute. He said, no, it ain't the giving that is not the issue. Giving is not the problem. It's we was never taught how to give, when to give.
Exactly.
Exactly. We wasn't taught, as they say, rightly dividing the word of truth. We wasn't taught effectively. We wasn't given the correct education when it came to giving. That's real.
How about that? Which was a lesson that I had learned. I learned that maybe a couple of years ago, going to D.C. My D.C. trip is a complete do-over because it was a horrible time. But at the same time, honey, it taught me something that it was a hard lesson. But, baby, having gone through it, trust me, okay. And that was just that. It was one thing for folks that were benevolent to me, but it was another thing, honey, to where they didn't bail me out. You know what I'm saying? And there's a difference to know. You have to know the difference between the two and actually understand when Spirit is talking to you. Because oftentimes we feel as though we're supposed to bail somebody out. We're supposed to be the fix-it people. And in that's what giving is. We think that's what, I'm going to give, and okay, you need what? What you need, sweetie? And basically, we had to take I learned, honey, we got to take that street corner approach. I got 5 on it. Okay? You trying to get to this particular thing, I got 5 on it. Okay? I'm not going to sit up here and give you the whole thing because you're not going to appreciate it. If you see, this goes back to you have to participate in your miracle.
Thank you. There you go.
It's one thing to ask. Ask and you shall receive. Yes, that is very true. at the same time, you got to participate. You got to do
because
something
the other part,
in it.
That's right, because see, they forget the other part of that scripture that said, they said, asking it shall be given. It said, seek and ye shall find, knock and the door shall be open. In other words, you got, like you said, you got to do the work. They say faith without work is dead.
You've got to do the work. Exactly.
Faith without work is dead.
You've got to do the work, and that there is where it is, honey. You know, I've said this a lot. You know, to my little to the children, honey, who you got your little hustlers on the street corners that carry on, honey. I don't mind an honest hustle. If you're gonna sit down here and do an honest hustle or whatever, honey, I will pay you for what you've done. If you're gonna come and sweep up my floor and do my dishes or whatever because you're trying to hustle up on a couple of coins, now what you do with it ain't none of my business. But you did the work. Okay, that warrants what I'm gonna give you. You see what I'm saying? And that there, and it sounds like I may be jumping, but that's a lesson that goes across the board, because that there in giving, you know, is what this thing is all about, and that's the lesson in it, in learning how to give. If I'm gonna sit down here, and then too, we learn this in church. You know, for those who still into the tradition of it, and that is you're supposed to be a cheerful giver. You know, you got to do it in cheer and in delight. And all the time we give money. You know, most of the time we do stuff if it's not for selfish reasons, because we think we're gonna get the glory and we're gonna stick our chests out and we give us a story to tell. Child, he done came to me asking me for $500. Yeah, I gave it to him. You know, he's all broke ass. You know, one of those kind of stories. Or we sit down there and give it out of with malice in it. You know, the hell you come and ask, what the hell you need with $500? Well, you know damn well if you had to stitch your money right and did what you were supposed to do, you would not be in this situation. Didn't nobody tell you to take your ass down to the Black Gay Pride and I know you ain't paid your light bill? One of those kinds of. If you got to give me all that soliloquy behind it, keep your money, honey. I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't, because see, the whole thing of it is, it's just like putting an evil spirit on that. That's not a blessing.
Witchcraft.
That's not a blessing. That's a hindrance. You gave me that to hinder me, because now you're gonna hold that over my head. You'll come searching me over my back every time I turn around, honey. Your shadow is on me to make sure I give you back your money.
And you know what? There's another confirmation, and I know after this I have to go, but there's another confirmation about that says, you know, beware of those bearing gifts.
Ha! Ha! Okay. Come on now. Beware of those bearing gifts. Really?
Because you don't know what spirit is attached to those gifts, too.
It's attached
so
to
you got to beware.
Exactly. Okay. See that? You said, ha! Okay, you said they get a box and it's a ticking time bomb, literally, honey. Okay, baby.
Let me get on here.
What, honey?
I got to get back to work, baby, but I'm going to still be listening in and stuff. And you know, if I got more to say, I'm going to chime in.
Okay, baby.
Okay, baby.
All right. I love it. Okay, then that just set us on fire right there, honey. Hey. That's it right there. 248-915. Come on up in here, baby.
Hey, Meech, what's going on, baby?
You got it. What's happening with you, baby?
I'm just sitting here listening to y'all's conversation and about knowing how to give.
Ain't that hard? Didn't that just sock you? Right. Didn't that just sock you? Right.
Miko, thank you so much for that conversation and adding that in, because, you know, again, you talked about giving and being a cheerful giver and everything like that, but we aren't taught how to give.
No.
And not being taught, the only thing we taught is give your 10% on Sunday.
How about that?
Give your 10% on Sunday. But they don't tell you how to cut off those that you supposedly care about. You talked about the aunts, the uncles, and the whole 9 yards. But let's not just talk about aunts and uncles. Let's talk about significant others.
Ooh.
Where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line at giving? You know, you don't give anything till it hurts. Nothing till it hurts. And a lot of us, in our desperation to be in something, will give and give and give till we know we ain't got nothing else to give. But
we ain't got
still
nothing else to give.
And still trying to give. Now, the real question is, if you give in to that point and you supposedly giving to somebody that loves you and cares about you, and it's, you know, the sun is rising and setting on this person, honey, when do they not come to you and ask you to give because they know you really ain't got it to give?
Well, how about that one?
Where's the reciprocity in that love commitment or in that like?
Well,
to thine own both be true, and there is truly no time for the pain, honey.
Okay.
Because, you know, you can lead the horse to water, but you can't make him drink, honey.
Right.
So,
exactly.
You know, my daddy, you know, love him to death. You know, but they came and they gave us our life lessons or our conversations and ass whoopings to go with them.
Exactly.
But did that stop us? Did that stop us from making our mistakes? The very ones that we were guarded against. Grown folks do grown things. Listening to your conversation with the young man that was trying to be everything to everybody. Honey, you run yourself into the grave or into a ditch. Because you can't please everybody. You can't please them. And even God had to punish us at times. You know what I'm saying? If that's your higher power.
Okay.
Listening to this today, really, especially about the giving. Some of us give so much, so often, and receive and expect to be given back too. But if you're not giving cheerfully, you're giving with an ulterior motive.
Exactly.
And so
exactly.
That sets you up for failure. Because here's it written, honey, just because I give to you, you got to give to me.
Right. Okay.
You know. And
exactly.
You just made the comment about, you know, the boy that stands on the corner and makes his coins, honey. He come in and do the work. I don't care what you do with the money, honey, as long as you did what I needed you to do.
Exactly, because it's an honest hustle. You know, don't be trying to beat me out my money. You know, don't try to beat me out of it. And oftentimes, that's what we end up doing. We let folks in our lives who beat us out of our money, our time, our affections, our emotions, our devotions, our quiet time. They beat us out of ourselves, honey, because oftentimes we put ourselves on the back burner just so that they could be on the front. And you keep putting yourself on the back burner enough, you look up at that stove, and it's not a pot on there that's yours.
Hello.
Okay.
One better, honey, it ain't no stove. One better. Because maybe if you'd been around some heat, honey, you'd have knew, you know, it have warmed up your brain.
Or something. Right. Okay.
It have warmed something up, honey.
Okay. How about that?
All too often, oftentimes we make decisions based on the wrong things. We look for the material. We don't look at the real consequence of what could happen in the long term. We go for the immediate gratification.
That's true. That there is very, very true.
We have to learn
very true.
Step back, sit still, and listen to your heart. Listen to your mind. And when you got a friend like you, call you, bitch, and be like, hey, bitch, look, this is what's going on.
Right, because see, oftentimes, here's where that is. And see, this is why I cherish the word friend. I do not like to use that word loosely because I believe that I am the representation. I am the personification of that word. I really believe, because a friend is not going to let a friend sit around here and be in the dark. Okay, I cannot sit down and truthfully sit down and let you sit and let you delude or corrupt yourself, especially when you bring it to me. Now, if you don't want me, and now those who know me, they know. Okay, if you don't bring it to me, okay, that's one thing. But if I get wind of it, or if I see it because it's in my presence, someone that brought it to me, or you done sit up there in your efforts of not wanting to tell me, but your actions are saying otherwise, or spirit that gave me some kind of confirmation, honey, I could not be a friend if I don't pull your coattail. Now, it ain't going to be the most pleasant of things all the time. You know, I try to come in love and, you know, make sure, especially when I know who I'm dealing with. There's certain people I can't shoot from the hip completely. I got to get around. I got to take that thing off the holster, honey, and okay, and carry it on. However, there are, you know, you cannot let anybody sit down there and delude themselves, because if you are, then that means you're not a help, you're a hindrance. And I would never want to be in anyone who I call a friend or one of my sisters or one, you know, someone who is close to me, especially those in my inner circle. My inner circle, they already know. They know me. That's become certain shit. They don't, you know, they'll wait to tell me later or whatever, because they know while they're going through it, they know they're going to hear my motherfucking mouth. Bitch, you's a dumb hoe for doing this old bullshit. Okay, you're too smart for this now, but I don't know what you're going through, but you feel as though you have to. And even then, my whole thing is, you get me eye to eye. I may not agree with the shit that you're doing, but you get me eye to eye. Because just like I say, coming here, you can't come out of a bag and then not explain yourself. If you can't articulate this stupid-ass shit you going through, then, honey, something in it is wrong, and you're going to hear my mouth until it's over.
But that, like you say, is the definition of a friend, honey. Good or bad, indifferent. Bitch, you may not like what I'm about to say, but, honey, this is this. And, you know, we done had them conversations.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
But what you truly learn is that your friends ain't going to come to you. Your friends, I use that term. I use that term strongly. Ain't gonna come to you and tell you what you want to hear.
No. I can't stand having a yes man in my life.
They're not gonna wrap the package so it's pretty. They're gonna They're not gonna do that, and oftentimes we get caught up in such bullshit of wanting to hear the bullshit. Somebody to agree with the bullshit we trying to run.
Right. And that's what it is. Wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. Let me take a break right here. I'll be right back. Hold on, Jeff.
2 years ago, you broke my heart. Said you was leaving me. Said you want to make a brand new start. Said you found a new man. He made you laugh. He made you smile. Made your life so worthwhile. But lately, you've been calling me, paging me, texting me, emailing me. Said it didn't work out. Said you found out what he was all about. Now you say you want to come back. You want to get back on the right track. But I'm not trying to hurt you, girl, but somebody else is holding me. Somebody else is squeezing me. Somebody else is pleasing me. Somebody else is teasing me. Somebody else is holding my hand. Somebody else is calling me their man. Somebody else is driving me to work. Somebody else is taking me to church. Somebody else is driving my car. Somebody else is my shining star. Somebody else supplying my needs. Somebody else got their name on my deed. Somebody else drawing my bath. Somebody else is making me laugh. Somebody else massaging my neck. Somebody else is cashing my check. Hey, somebody else, baby. Day that I'll never forget as long as I live. And I remember after you told me that you were leaving and you turned around and you walked away and you never looked back. And I went in the house and I closed the door and I shut all the blinds and then I got on the telephone and I called my boss at work and I told him, I said, I need to take an emergency vacation. And he said I had about 2 weeks and I said, I need all of it. And then I unplugged the phone and I just sat down on the couch and I thought about you and I thought about me and all the time that we had put in together. And I know most men won't admit it, but as I sat there, you know, I cried. I cried, baby. I cried big tears over you. And I was sitting there for I don't know how long, and it seemed like a voice just came to me. It sounded like it was my grandmother's voice, and she said, boy, get on up and wash your face and go outside. And I just sat there. And after a while, that voice came back to me and said, boy, I told you to get up. And I knew it was my grandmama's voice. And I got up and I washed my face and I went outside, and the sun was shining and the birds were singing. And ever since that day, somebody else been loving me. Oh, baby, let me tell you, somebody else been fixing my plate. Somebody else is getting their C8. Somebody else is sharing my bed. Somebody else is giving me, somebody else, baby. Somebody else is making my life worthwhile. Somebody else is making me smile. Somebody else has dropped it like it's hot. Somebody else is giving me all they got. Somebody else is backing it up. Somebody else is giving it to me till I can't get enough. Somebody else, baby. Oh, baby. Somebody else, baby.
All right, somebody else. I do apologize. I had to take that quick little break. We had a delivery come to the studio, child. I had to take care of that. They were about to knock on the door and this, that, and the other. As you all know, we're getting ready for No Time for the Pain, and this is some promotional items that came in for us. So, yes. So, now, back to what's going on here. I love that. That song, honey, was right on time, actually. Somebody else, sugar. See, that's what we have to understand, honey. When we get to that point where we got to say somebody else is getting all this because you tore it up. Somebody else, honey. Okay. That there's always love. Always love. Now, here, let me go here to this last little Dear Big Meech letter. All right. Dear Big Meech, why is commitment so hard for people to understand? I find the most wonderful men, but somehow they're always what? They're always fooling around and always wanting to be FWBs and not wanting to commit. Why is commitment so hard? Well, darling, commitment is hard because you end up, it's a twofold. Number one, commitment is hard because if you allow them to do what they do to you, honey, then why should they commit to you? Number one. Number two, commitment means that they are ready to take responsibility. And one of the things about that is oftentimes responsibility is only on one side. A lot of relationships have always, as I'm looking over life and carrying on, and some of the folks who are in friendships and relationships now, the responsibility has always been one-sided. You've always had one person that's taking care of everything, and the other person has always been haphazard or free spirit. And it's good to know that if this is who we say that they are, and you know who they are. But if you are somebody who wants to be committed, then you have to sit down and make sure you align yourself up with those who want to be committed as well, and not just for the short term. So you get a short-term commitment or whatever, and because folks want to have fun, they want to be in relationship just for that minute. They want the dime piece, they want the arm piece or whatever. And that there is wonderful, cute and good and all of that at that time. But also, if you are not doing what you did to get them, plus to keep them, then it gets boring. The stuff gets boring. There's nothing else to do. And so then what I thought I wanted to come home to becomes, a wishy-washy kind of thing. If you're not there to stimulate and grow, I say this to folks all the time, and this is something that I wanted to create a workshop around. Folks who are 35 and above, okay, and it starts at around that 35-year age. When you are 35 and above, my darlings, and you say you're ready to settle down and want a relationship, or you're looking for a commitment, or you're looking for whatever, what does that mean to you, number one? Number two, how is the relationship going to grow at this point? Because what is it that you want the two of you to do together as a couple? If you just want a dime piece or something, honey, have a friend with benefit and don't look for the commitment. Because I had someone on Facebook say that all they needed was loyalty and good dick and honesty to be in a relationship. I said, child, I could get that from a fuck buddy. Okay? You get that from a fuck buddy because, see, they loyal. Long as you know they're a phone call away, honey, they're loyal. Okay? They're honest because all they're coming over for is for the sex. Okay? And that there is that, and of course they're coming back because the sex is good. That's why they're on your list of folks to come back to. So you get that from a fuck partner. But if you're looking for a real commitment, darling, number one, you have to define what that is. Number two, understand that if you're looking for relationship, a committed relationship, how is the relationship going to grow? What do you two want to do together as a couple? And number three, how are you going to fortify one another's individual dreams? Because a relationship should not supposed to mean that I got to give up mine only so that yours can flourish. That's ridiculous. We see that oftentimes in a lot of heteroattractional relationships and marriages and carrying on, where oftentimes it's the woman who have given up her life to be this mother, to be this best wife, and then y'all start waiting to exhale and carrying on. Shit, I gave you 11 years. I done helped build this motherfucking company, and then you leave? 11 years. I gave you 2 children. Okay? And carrying on, and then you going to leave me for another bitch because it's easier, and I done put in all the hard work. What are you going to do at this point in your life to where the relationship is going to grow? Because if all y'all going to do is go to dinner and fuck, honey, that's not a relationship, honey. You just got a dime piece on your arm to say, bitch, I still got companionship. If you're looking for a relationship, what are you going to do to make it grow? How is it going to grow? What are some of the things that you want to accomplish as a couple? How are you going to do that? So that there's what I'm going to give you. If you want a commitment, honey, number one, you have to define what that is, because you can get commitment. It may not be across the board. You can get somebody committed to your personal well-being, and a lot of folks they become committed to bits and pieces nowadays because they feel as though they don't have to sign up for the long haul or for the whole caboodle. You know what I'm saying? Relationships nowadays, we've changed so much. to where it doesn't it's not what it's supposed to be anymore. And so now you have to define that and then be realistic with it. Be very realistic and stop trying to turn hoes and trades into housewives, honey. You can't turn a hoe into a housewife, dear God. Dear God. Okay? Dear God. Why? Because if you try to contain that spirit, they already came in as a free spirit. You knew that when you met them. Now you're trying to box that spirit in. That spirit is not going to get boxed down. It was already let loose. You can't box it. You can't box it. Okay, trade is already community property, honey. So what makes you think the trade is that the trade is gonna come home and now be a trader? Okay, No, he's not gonna cheat the game. He's not gonna cheat the game because the game is what the game is. So that there is, you have to be very realistic with that, and then be realistic with what it is that you want. Oftentimes, we're still caught up in what we think the fantasy of a relationship is. You want it to be tall, dark, handsome, masculine, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. And you know, as time has gone on, as you get older, some of those things start to relax. And that's the part that we have to be honest about. Some of the criteria, we start to relax on some of those things, and because we're around our good Judies or whatever, we don't want to be real with that explanation, and we don't want to allow ourselves to stand up in our truth with that. You say you want a masculine dude, honey, when you really want a butch queen. Okay, and oftentimes everything as you get older, everything that you done gravitated to has been butch queen, honey, and you want to sit up there and say, oh, he's got to be masculine or uber masculine, but you're not living in your truth. So the commitment that you want, you got to get committed to your truth. Start there. Commit yourself to what the truth of who you are is at this time, and as you grow, it's going to change. Life changes, and you have to be strong enough to accept it. Once you accept your truth, then you're able to stand in it for all its glory. And then you're able to attract what it is that you say you want, as long as you live in it. You got to live it. You got to live commitment in order to find commitment. If you're not committed to getting to work on time, if you're not committed to your friends, making sure y'all go out together and carrying on, if you're not committed to that phone call you said you was going to make, or whatever. See, there's other little things in your life to where commitment has to be, and you have to take it across the board. If you are not committed and only committed in bits and pieces of your life, then the person that you're going to attract is only going to be committed to bits and pieces. You see what I'm saying? That's how that thing works, and that's a revelation right there. That one was for me. That's for me. Okay? So that we have to look at that. We have to look at that and take that across the board, my sugars. That's what this thing is. That's what this thing is. So, and that's my piece. If y'all want to come on in on that, 347-205-9183. 248, your line is still open. You got something on that?
It's so funny you would say that, Niece, about the relationship dynamic. Even though we hate to admit it, a lot of times as same gender loving, we want to mimic heterosexual.
Exactly.
And so we want to set it up, this my husband, this my wife, and not really look at the dynamic of our culture. And, you know, the women, they got their little trade, honey, that they deal with. You know, if you've been watching the half and the half nots, honey, Benny is this things trade, okay? But you look at it, to thine own self be true. In order to have what you want, you got to know what you want. And be willing to do the work to get it. And see, that's the problem. We want all the benefits, but we don't want to go through none of the hassle or none of the work to get it.
Ain't that gospel?
You know what I'm saying?
Ain't that gospel?
And then after you jump into this, you just slept with this motherfucker, and then you wake up in the morning married. Girl.
Okay.
Girl, it don't happen like that, honey. I'm just here to tell you. I ain't never seen it happen like that. Have you?
It ain't supposed to happen like that.
How about it?
How about that? It ain't supposed to happen like that, but everybody want to think that what goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas. But I keep trying to tell them these little shotgun weddings over alcohol, honey, a good time, happens constantly in LGBT culture, particularly men who have sex with men, honey, same gender-loving men. I don't know. I have not heard that in our lesbian culture. I know it does because it would be asinine to think that it doesn't. But at the same time, because women are more emotional than men are, but at the same time, men, because we have not been taught how to garner our emotions, we have not been taught how to express what this is and how to separate an evening of pleasure versus understanding that this could turn into something. We have not really dealt with all of that, with the dynamics of the psyche. And so oftentimes you get these uber masculine children who are only looking for a fuck, find these uber feminine children or those who are so much into their emotions to where you done dick them down, child, and now they feel as though they're in love because this is what they equate love with. So then they get up talking about, oh, you my husband, this bitch go skip it in the kitchen, going to cook breakfast, thinking she Diana Ross in damn Lady Sings the Blues. And honey, okay. And then next thing you know, honey, she comes singing the blues because now you realize, child, this ain't what this is.
Let's talk about this one, and this is the same subject, but you meet a motherfucker on Adam for Adam, honey. Y'all meet and fuck. Honey.
Right.
And next so y'all married.
Right.
And so find out he's still on Adam for Adam fucking all these other children, all your friends and girlfriends. Then you want to feel some kind of. Well, bitch, the reality of the shit is that you met him fucking on Adam for Adam. What makes you so special? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
A hole is a hole, a hole is a pole. What the fuck is you talking about?
Exactly.
We don't want to see the reality of what it is, honey. Purple is purple, red is red, honey. You know.
Okay, let's go back to your primary colors, honey. See, come on out that 64 box. See, come on out of that goddamn 64 box of Crayolas, honey. Go back to the 8 colors, honey. We had red, white, blue, yellow, black, purple, orange, brown, and green. Your primary colors, honey.
Those other colors, you have to mix them bitches up.
Exactly. Come on out that 64 box. Go back to the primary colors, honey, and deal with what it is, honey.
To make gray, you have to go black and white, bitch.
You have to mix black and white, and you got to mix it correctly in order for it to come out the right shade.
In order for it to come out. You know, we don't necessarily want to do the work. We just want the joy. We don't want
Yeah. But I'm part of that now in the society that we live in now. Because it's so microwave popcorn, you know, 2.5 minutes, honey, and you got to make sure it's on at 2.5 minutes because if it's at 2:35, it's gonna burn. Okay, okay, and that's what it is. We want instant joy. Or the wait time is going to be so insignificant to where by the time you turn around from doing something else, it's done and it's there. And see, you think you Samantha Stevens or Andorra or Aunt Clara or somebody could twitch your nose and wave a finger and it's supposed to happen. No, honey. No. It doesn't work like that, honey. God didn't give it to us like that this time. Not this time. Not yet, because we can't handle it.
I'm gonna go to your heroine, honey. Dare to show love and lose your power.
Okay.
Get to know. That means get to know his ass. So when all these little things come up, honey, you know exactly who you dealing with. You keep your cards held close to your chest. You don't give up everything.
Exactly.
You got to come, and then when you engage it all. Now, we talking, I mean, okay, you go a year or so and then you don't find some shit out, okay, maybe. But you done gave up everything within 60 days.
Right.
What's going to hold his attention? What's going to hold your attention? Not just him, but what's going to hold your attention? Because it ain't always the one that you with that cheats. It could just be you a habitual whore.
Because because you done got bored so quickly.
Exactly.
Bored so quickly.
We want to make everybody else the problem, but the problem could be with ourselves.
How about that?
Exactly, and we don't necessarily want to deal with that or look at that because, we perfect. Because I got on Gucci and whatnot, honey, I'm scared. Oh, bitch, that don't really make you feel effective for label.
Exactly.
And,
exactly.
We don't necessarily want to look at it from that standpoint. But perfection, I don't know nobody that's perfect, myself included. We all got our areas to deal with and come up, but honey, if you're not looking to be better than you were the day before, then that's where the problem lies.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? If you're not questioning what you want out of life, or is this really what you want before you dive into it, honey, what you expect to happen?
Exactly.
You a whore, honey, how the fuck you gonna be married to somebody?
Well, and then want to get mad because they're not committed to you. Really?
Exactly.
Really?
Right. Or let's deal with this. You talk about the ultra feminine and the ultra masculine. The guys that want to be fucked who are ultra masculine, but they can only be fucked by drag queens because they can't really visually take a man on their back.
Now you know what? Now that's the other side of that damn coin that does not get talked about. The uber masculine children who like to be bottoms, that still deal with their whole idea of I'm not gay kind of thing, that run to the T girls and carrying on and this, that, and the other. I'm trying to understand that psyche. Because it is what it appears to be, but for whatever reasons, they do not want to call it what it is. They don't want to just stand up and face it for what it is. And oftentimes, we all, all the children who claim they want masculine men, I ask this all the time of folks. I said, you say you want somebody masculine, and you want them to be so hard and so this and so that. Somewhere he has to soften up because when y'all in the bedroom together, somebody got to give up control. Because if he's so hard to where y'all bumping heads, who gives up the control?
Well, and see,
or becomes
in the reality,
more submissive. I won't say give up control. I would say who becomes submissive to whom.
Right. Exactly.
Because that's where it is. Because one of the things about being male and masculine is that we have all been taught, honey, since we come out the womb and realize that we were male children, that to be submissive is wrong. A man is not supposed to be submissive. We're supposed to be the dominant one. We take control. We run the house and this, that, and the other. And so in a same-gender loving relationship, for those who claim that they need masculinity in order to be attractive, that there only works in the bedroom. But now that we're outside of the bedroom, how does that relationship work in on an everyday basis to where you guys are doing something where you're going to grow and not sitting up here grunting at one another or thinking that I'm supposed to know what the fuck you're thinking about through osmosis because you don't want to talk about your feelings, you don't want to do this, you don't want to do that. See, this is where those exact interpretations of what this thing is supposed to be starts to get muddled in the water because it is not exact interpretation. Somewhere up in here, your demeanor and your dynamics of all of that has to change because you're not all this uber masculine person that we keep saying that we want because it won't work. That's why it don't work in the animal kingdom. Shit, you see, there's the king, the lion king, whoever is the king of the tribe, honey. The other men of the tribe don't sit up there and try to outdo his authority or whatever. Hell, they let him know he's the king. Until one of them unless one of them want to buck up, and then if they buck, then they got to fight and find out who's the superior one. And whoever is the superior one, the dominant one take over the tribe, and the one that got his ass beat leaves the tribe.
Hello. and has to go find his own village.
And go find his own someday. Hello, that's in the animal kingdom.
In the lions.
What the hell you think we gonna do? Shit.
Yep, the male lions when they get to be a certain age, honey, they got to go because King ain't having you trying them.
Exactly.
You got to go.
Exactly.
And it's just like with us, honey. When you get so grown that you don't want to do what mama and daddy say do, you got to go.
That's it. Okay, go find your own.
Baby, right. You don't want to live by mine, so honey, it's best you have your own.
Exactly. You know, and so that there, as far as exact interpretation of these roles and carrying on that we have done. So we've done this because we've allowed this to be what this is now. It starts to get muddled in the water, you know, and carrying on. And then when you look at it for what it is, because I know when we look at it for what it is, then we start to get upset about it. I know I have a friend of mine, and I don't say this often, but whenever we go down that particular road, and I had to point out to him, honey, you claim you want all this masculinity, honey, but shit, you like butch queens. Your ass like them to be a little soft, honey, you know, just so that you can have that little edge, because now that feeds to you and your masculine persona. You like to be the daddy. You know, so you can't have it can't be two daddies walking down the motherfucking street. You know, well, you prefer that, so folks won't clock them. You know, but as long as they not all this damn woman on the street or whatever, to where y'all could get clocked, and that's basically what it is. You want somebody who that when you walking down the street, everybody going to point fingers and say, "Oh, that's gay." You don't want that. But if everybody minding their own business and carrying on, child, please, because the butch queens and carrying on, and a lot of femme dudes, if we mind our own business, honey, we that's not what all that is. The young kids are more so into all that. You know, they get flamboyant and carrying on because, you know, right now they're still trying to find out who they are, trying to express themselves and this. So, yeah, that's going to take a minute. You know, but those of us, honey, who have gone through and come to grips with who we are, child, please, we got it under control.
We know who the hell we are.
We got it. We know this.
It's funny you would mention about the kids being young and experimenting and the whole 9 yards. When do they come out of the experimental phase? Because, you know, I know you as Samantha and I know you as Meech. But, honey, never have the two just crossed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You do your thing and then you come home as Meech.
Because for me, I have to explain that, because as a person who is an entertainer, that there was what that was. This was me making my coin, honey, so I could get the bills paid and carrying on. This wasn't a lifestyle to say that, I'm going to explore my feminine side and, I'm going to live as a girl. That's when folks saw me. When I came out to the club, honey, I didn't come out in face all the time. Anytime they saw me out in face was because either I had to do some promotional work to get work, or I was there to work. Okay? There wasn't I'm just going to go transient today because I just feel like being a bitch. No, that wasn't it, because that's too much damn work. It's too much makeup. It's too much hair. I got to keep running back and forth to the bathroom to make sure I ain't ate off all my lipstick. I got to keep patting my face because I sweat too. That's too much work.
Honey. And I mean, if that's your thing, no offense to anybody listening in the radio land, honey, no offense. If that's your thing,
because for those who say this is my life, that means that's what you committed yourself to, and this is who you are. But for Demetrius, Samantha was a character and is a character. Okay, that's someone that I created to where for my feminine side or whatever, or my homage to women, I could do that on stage. She is a stage persona. Now, there are times where I've had to come home in makeup, but I very rarely came home in full get-up. I had to take them damn pants off. I was not walking in them pumps because my feet hurt. There were elements, honey, to where you knew I was a boy. I'm not going to sit up here and try to act like and play like I'm a girl, honey, because that's all on stage. You want to see all that, honey, you got to come up with the coin, okay, to do. That's a stage performance. With a show's over synergy, honey, lights out, got to go home and do, and take care of what I need to take care of, because this was a performance piece for me. And and for my T-girls out there, this is how I became a trans activist, because I started to understand their plight. For those girls who said this is me, and they got thrown into the whole show arena because this is how they can make their coin, then it became a whole different scenario. Now you say you want to live your life as a woman, but you got thrown into here because trying to be a woman on the outside, they're not accepting you. Me, honey, because shit, this hair coming off, that's part of my show. I throw my titties at the audience. That's part of the show. Okay.
I have some folks around me that are considered transgender. But you walk down the street and you look like a linebacker.
Okay.
Honey, where does reality set in and say, maybe this is who I am in bed or dealing with things, but as it relates to passing off as a woman, I can't do it. Where does the reality set in?
Well, for that there comes into, if they're going to do this is where it becomes down to understanding what this is. Because I do believe that there's some of the girls out there who get caught up because they get caught up in the fascination of it. They got a little look going on, and because they threw on some hair and they could beat their face, they feel, I'm fishy. And then they be around all the other fishy girls, and everything is all girl this, girl that. Oh, girl, you socket in this, that, and the other. And I think they get caught up that way. Versus someone who says, honey, no, honey, there's something to this. There's a whole different psychological makeup with that. And I really believe some girls, end up going down that particular road just because they feel as though they're supposed to, because they're feminine gay boys. And oftentimes that is perpetuated because I remember working at Uptown Bookstore in Detroit on 6 Mile and Woodward. I worked at both locations. And because I'm gay, I had the female security officer come to me. She said, okay, so when you going to get ready for your surgery? I said, what surgery? She said, aren't you going to have a sex change? I said, for what? She said, well, you're gay, right? I said, yes. She said, well, don't that mean you want to be a woman? I said, why do I want to be a woman, sweetie? I'm a gay male who enjoys the company of another man. I'm a 6'4". I wear a size 14 shoe. What the hell says that I have enough problems in this world as a gay man? You talking about a 6'4" trying to be transgender, and I got to go through those problems as well? I said, child, I'm not as wide as a linebacker, but these shoulders are not feminine. Look at these big ass hands. I said, I'm a 14 man shoe. That's a 16 woman. Where the fuck I'm gonna find some shoes? I was 20 years old when I told her that. But
naturalize.
Okay. But that started a discussion because, in her mind, every gay man, especially if they were, at that time, when I was 20, I was real as Christmas and twice as merry. The girls that we see nowadays that are so over the top, I was that back in 1990. Because I wore my hair, my nails long. They were my nails because, that was the era of Lee press-ons. And, no, honey, these are natural. So, I had my own nails. I used to go get my hair done every 2 weeks and carry it on. So that was what I was doing back at that particular time. And, the whole thing of it was I could be real as Christmas and twice as merry, but, honey, my job would still get done. I'm more man than you ever will be, and I'm more woman than you think you will ever get, honey. That was always the thing, honey. Because of how I carried myself. Now, I may not be able to have a baby or whatever, but, honey, the kind of woman that I am, honey, shit, you will never have a woman like me, ever.
Ever.
And that was the mindset at that time. And that wasn't to slam women. It's just that I was so comfortable in who I was to where you will never get a woman who can match me as far as comfortability is concerned because she's so busy trying to compete with me. So, no, you never. That was the mindset back at that time and that mentality. But it opened up discussion because at the same location, I had to tell this to the security officer because he was like, his whole thing was he believed that because you were gay, he says, well, hell, all y'all do is fuck. I said, honey, if all gay folks do is fuck, then how come I'm behind this register working this cash register?
Hello.
And he stopped and looked at me like that. And then he says, well, all y'all want to do is get fucked in the ass. I said, okay, well, let me ask you this question, sweetie. I said, this is not to clown you. I said, but if every gay person likes to get fucked in the ass, who doing the fucking?
Well,
and baby, that was an Oprah aha moment at that moment. Because if you had saw the look in his face, it was as if that was something he had never thought of. I said, exactly, sweetie. I said, I may be a gay male, honey, but I said, do you fuck every woman that you see? He said, no. I said, so what makes you think that I don't have standards? There's certain things that I'm attracted to or whatever. I don't go around like this, that, and that. And I said, that's what you have to understand. And it was a beautiful conversation because we was able to get some actual education going on from otherwise, homophobic or distant. I'll say homo distant people, because they didn't want to identify with the culture because all they know is what he was prone to know. So being there, it allowed me to absolutely educate him and her on some of the dynamics. Now, of course, I couldn't speak for everybody, but like I told you, just like there are many different facets to men and women, honey, hell, gay folks are just as varied and faceted. So in all of that, back at that particular time when I was in my heyday, that was me having to go up and down and find out where I fit. Because, again, it was the folks that I was around. At that particular point, I was around the children, honey, who being fishy was everything, honey. Bitch, I'm giving a pussy tonight. They sit down there and wear biker shorts and tuck their dick between their legs and everything so they could act like they were giving pussy because they were bottoms. And that was a whole big thing back in the late 80s, early 90s when we came out. And even now, when you see the girls now, honey, a lot of these film queens or whatever, because we have been so bombarded with it was what it is to be a boy. What you need to do this, a boy's supposed to do this, a boy's supposed to. We had to fight and carry on because we were not that kind of boy. To where now that we could sit down there and be fishy and be all this, that, and the other, it come out to the masses, and we ran to it, to where we got the little girly hairstyles and kept our nails done and this, that, and the other because we were able to express it. Now, as we start to age, and you'll see this when the girls start to age and carry on because then they start to pull back because they realize, okay, this is a part of life. I don't need all that anymore because it started to get old. It starts to get old.
And when you see the aging process and the transition, thank God, you and I have held up well, baby.
Ooh,
we didn't
thank you, Jesus. Every time, yes.
Thank God we don't look like what we've been through.
Okay, now say that.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because, baby, you don't know my story, you don't know my testimony, baby. But
okay.
All those things that I went through, I wouldn't change any of it because it made me who I am today. And if you can't look back over your life and find appreciation for having to be homeless, having to be without, having to be hungry, having to eat, baby, we was in college and we was lying to our parents about being in school that semester because me and my roommates had fucked up, hanging out. Girl, we had to eat off a 7-Up cake for a week.
How about it?
But there's appreciation in that story just because I know what I have to do when I have to do it, honey. You know what I'm saying? Those taught me how to survive.
See there?
And
I had to do it $2 a day, baby. We had living in New York, homeless bitch. Bought a bottle of water for $1 that I could go refill whenever it got empty. Had a 25-cent apple and a 50-cent banana. Okay.
And made it out, honey.
And made dinner. Hello.
Honey, but and you have to learn how to survive, honey. How many homes or places have you had that you had to refurnish?
Right.
Boom. Exactly. unless you live these lines, gay, straight, and different, a lot of the things that we want to look at that makes us separate as gay really don't. We just are other human beings.
Exactly.
We just other human beings. You know what I'm saying? We ain't no different than the heterosexual, except for we just have sex with same gender.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but the process is still the same. Somebody getting fucked. The only thing, can't nobody get pregnant with her.
Right.
You know. And they put too much emphasis on it. One of the things I really like about Atlanta is that Atlanta is a little more accepting as it relates to homosexuality. You know where we come from, baby. Some of the shit these kids pull, they be dead.
Right.
You caught on the wrong block, it's over.
Oh,
it's
darling.
Over. Oh, honey.
Oh.
Honey, unless the girls know you and love you. You know, because you got certain trade, honey, that will protect you till they dying day, because that bitch fed me when I couldn't eat. That bitch took me in, and we ain't never fucked, honey. Ain't never seen my dick or her ass, honey. Other than if
because that's not what it was about.
Exactly.
That's not what it was about, honey. It was all about making sure that you were taken care of, and it was to get you on your feet. You know. Get you on your feet so that you can sit down there, because you was a bright and wonderful human being, honey. It was all about making sure that unconditional love was practiced, and it was shown and demonstrated so that you knew what it was, so that it kept you from making that kind of mistake again. See, that's what these things are. So I tell that to folks constantly, honey. We have to sit down here and get this thing done. You know, these are the lessons that we have to make sure we impart onto this younger generation. And going back to this question about commitment, honey, that's what I'm saying. If you're not committed to that, to other things that are a part of your world and a part of your life, honey, then you're not going to be.
Exactly.
You're not going to be, honey, because, see, this thing here, you'll never find commitment. If you can't commit yourself to a few things about life and carry it on, you will never be committed to anything else. And commitment will never come to you.
It sure won't. And you got to stand up for something, or you'll fall for anything. You know,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? We didn't always think the way we do now, but as you get older, you know, certain things just kind of fall out of season. You know,
right?
They fall out of season, and we change the way we do things. Even as it's like what this conversation started about with friends. There are so many people that are falling by the wayside who I thought were friends that I now know aren't.
Okay.
Or we just time just separated us.
Right.
You know, there are some people in your life forever, and then there are some people in your life for just a reason, a season, and a lifetime. And one of those can affect all three.
Exactly.
You just have to know. Listen, darling, I got to get off the phone.
All right, you go ahead on. I
love
see we
you.
had new listeners that then came on in. I'm going to chime in with them and see what's going on. And then we're going to close out because we do have to get ready for a rehearsal. We have a rehearsal today. And, yeah, I think I'm going to go bop in for half. No, what am I talking about for half a second? We got to go bop in and then make sure everything is cool. Huh?
Casting is all done.
Pretty much. We have 2 roles that we need to cast, and so I'm going to put that information out here. They got to get a hold of Miko Evans with Meek Productions so that we can get those roles cast immediately, and we can continue on. But we're rehearsing until we get those things done. So the person coming in is going to have to be very quick because, you know, they're going to miss 2 days of rehearsal. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, congratulations. I'm so happy for you.
Thanks, darling. Oh, we got a show for your nerves, honey. We got a show.
Okay. Well, I'll see you there.
All right, baby.
Love you, baby. Bye-bye.
Love you back. Bye-bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're still going on. We got a few more minutes left up in here. And I'm going to go here because I posed these questions earlier about, you know, the things that were on my mind, but I wanted to go. Let me go here. I want to talk about those Emmys with Viola and Regina and Uzo winning those Emmys and carrying on. When we think about the Hollywood machine, and I know this is my my entity and the role that I want to be in. I got this old Baptist breathing going on, honey, so forgive me. Excuse me. When we think about it and we realize the accomplishments of these ladies, you know, it baffles me at times that, you know, we don't have a lot of work out there still. And I know that we're doing better with getting things out there. We got a lot of independent stuff. You know, we got stuff coming up on YouTube and all these other different places. We got a lot of stuff going straight to DVD. If ever you go to Walmart or Target or whatever, you go into that little section and you see the locally produced stuff or straight to DVD or Blu-ray. And it becomes a little bit that way. But I'll be glad when we get to a point where we can all prosper from the work. I would like to see a lot more African Americans nominated in these categories and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? I want to see the roles become more, have more substance to it. I want to see us mirrored the way life is. We need to have more opportunities and more roles and more fibrous stuff, you know, that comes through. And I'm tired of being period pieces. I see that they're doing a remake of Roots. Why? Okay, is that the only way that black folks could get work, honey, if we start doing period pieces again? I mean, they're good stories, yes, I understand that. But why do we keep got to go back to slave shit? Why? Do we have to keep going back to slave shit? Ain't nobody went to the 70s and redid any of the 70s stuff. You know, I would love to see them to redo Car Wash or any of the Pam Grier movies that carried on. We talked about blaxploitation back at the time. Well, now that we have the money and the opportunity and the actors and carrying on, we have better set of actors and better skills or whatever, how come we don't do an updated version of those movies? You know what I'm saying? And keep it within the community to where we can get the empowerment there. You know what I'm saying? Where is that dynamic? I would love to see that dynamic. A hero ain't nothing but a sandwich. Ha! Could you imagine that being done today in this day and time? Cornbread Earl and me, have somebody redo that. You know what I'm saying? Why is it that we always got to go back to that damn slave shit? You know, Yes. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see the media roles, honey. Some stuff with substance. 5 on the black hand side. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Yeah, Foxy Brown and Sheba, baby. Okay, give me some good coffee. Especially nowadays that we got this old vigilante kind of mentality again, you know, where the folks are going in and you know, we don't have the cops doing right and stuff anymore. So we got, you know, that kind of stuff. You know, well, how come they haven't? Well, they did. You know, Sam Jackson, they did redo Shaft. But, you know, where's the second movie? They didn't redo the second one. You know, Shaft go to Africa or whatever the case may be. Cleopatra Jones, baby. You know, pay homage to Tamara Dobson, who passed on. You know what I'm saying? Where are those movies that, you know? Could you imagine Viola as Cleopatra Jones? Ha! Okay, get it. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. Or Taraji P as Foxy Brown. Or whatever. You know, Regina King, you know, come on. We got a number of girls out here, honey, who could do this damn thing, child. It could be done. It could really be done and all of that. So I would love to see that. You know, yes, if we go redo this stuff, let's do it to where it empowers us and carry it on, and not just glamorize, the stuff. We know we talk about it for the real, you know. So, That's my thoughts on that and carrying on. And again, I'm telling you about this Fourth Friday count or whatever. For those of you who got kids in school, y'all make sure y'all stay on top of the school systems, honey. Do not let them take those kids and then just count them for that Fourth Friday and then just throw them away because they've been absent or because they feel as though they're troublemakers or whatever, and then get rid of them because they've been counted for. I think each student gets $4,700 for the year. Okay, so you just sit there and counted all these kids or whatever, then, you started kicking them out. So where's my $5,000 for this child? Okay? If you going to kick him out and tell me he's expelled from the school system, where is my $5,000 for this child? Give me back that money. I bet you, if we start taking that kind of approach with the school system, I bet you they'll change their tune. You know what? Let me sit down here and think on that one a minute. Because, see, I need to talk with some school boards of education on that. Because, hell, we see what y'all did with the money, with the folks, with the kids that's still in the school system. And then you got the nerve to take that money that you done kicked the folks out of? No. I ain't having it. So having said that, my darlings, yes, that there is this episode, honey, of Dishing Tea with Big Meats. Honey, you may finish all of your crumpets because the tea has been dishing. You've been dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meats. If you love me, tell a friend, honey. If you hate me, tell an enemy. But do know this, one way, shape, style, form, of fashion, this thing here that I'm doing will move forward. Remember, join us next week as we are going to have Pastor Derek Terry from the season 5 episodes of Iyanla Fix My Life, the gay pastors. He's going to be on with us next week. And before I go, I've got to do a grand, big old birthday shout-out to Barbara G., actor out of Detroit, Michigan, who is also in in the play No Time for the Pain, honey. Today is her birthday. So, Gloria, your ghetto ass, honey, Barbara G., my sweetheart, happy birthday, baby, from Big Meech and from the cast of No Time for the Pain. Again, No Time for the Pain, honey, will open October 23rd, 24th, and 30th here in Atlanta, Georgia, at the South Fulton Arts Center, 4645 Butler Road, near Stonewall Tail Road in Historic College Park. Tickets are on sale now, so go to www.dishingtea.com for all No Time for the Pain information, okay? And having said all that, let me get some form of libation. Let me take this damn nasal spray because you see I'm sounding all congested. And then we're going to make this happen because we got to go to rehearsal. And then I got to go make some more donuts this evening. Ha, ha, ha. So I love you all. Join us next week, and we'll talk with you then. Thank you, babies. Bye-bye.